All right, we are back to our chef slot once again, and this week's feature puts Gauteng-born chef Samkelo Ndaba in the spotlight. His love for all things culinary is evident in every picture on his social media. He finds joy in the art of cooking as well as pleasing the public with his food. Well, he joins me now this morning to share a few dishes you can try out for your next dinner party or maybe just relaxing at home. Sam, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show.
You describe yourself as an all-rounder in terms of the type of food that you make. So what sort of meals can one expect from Chef Sam?
So I actually have experience in fine dining and I love it, but it's too formal. So it's fine dining and party cuisine that I actually enjoy the most.
Okay. And how would you say your background of where you come from influenced the career that you chose?
Funny enough, my cousins used to make these things that they used to think it's omelets. And it was not omelets. And I went to Paris and I went to Swaziland with my grandparents, who are late right now. And that's where I actually got to see a real omelet. And I was like, okay, this is what needs to change.
Now, do unpack for us how you would describe a healthy meal and what kind of ingredients must be on the dish to qualify as healthy.
So I always believe that a healthy meal is fish. That's my go-to. So I always have a lovely salmon fillet and I love green beans. So I always saute my green beans with orange juice and put some almond seeds on top of it.
Sure, I can almost picture it, eh? And so what's your ultimate quick dish that is easy to try at home?
Well, I think everyone has tried this before and everyone does this. Mac and cheese. I think it's quick, convenient, and it's sufficient. If there's 4 people at the house, you can do it for 4 in less than 20 minutes, 30. Yes.
Okay, so which do you lean more towards? Is it your typical traditional food or more of the Western cuisines?
I am more on the Western side, and it hurts me, but I would love to learn how to do the tradition food side of the world, you know?
Okay.
But also the Western side is tradition to some places.
Yeah, just looking at the slides on the screens right now, I see it's beautifully arranged. I mean, what's the importance of, arrangement in the presentation of a dish?
Well, they always say you always eat with your eyes first. So whatever you see, you might enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, then we're sorry.
Sure. Point taken. And what's that one ingredient that you can't go without?
There's always a dish of mine which has to have thyme. But fresh thyme also. It's the smell, it's the flavor, it just brings your meal alive.
Yeah, and speaking of fresh thyme, what would you advise, using fresh herbs or just bottled spices?
Sorry, can you please repeat your question? I couldn't hear you clearly.
Okay, what would you advise people to use? Fresh herbs or just bottled spices?
No. Bottled spices, they processed, and I don't discourage people who use that, but I always prefer fresh. Fresh is always the way to go.
Okay. So what's that one dish that you grew up eating, but you added a twist to it, and maybe people can try at home?
So my late grandmother used to make us eat mash. And I used to eat it, but I used to store it on my cheeks. I never used to eat properly. So when I grew up, I decided to use baby potatoes, squash them a bit, put some garlic, put some herbs, put some butter, and put some bacon on top, put it in the oven.
Okay. So do you agree to the popular sentiment that a healthy meal and a pretty good meal is very expensive?
I don't agree, but I also don't disagree. I think it all depends on where you go, because you can get a cheap or reasonable, let me put it like that, a reasonable meal, which is healthy. And yeah, I think that's my view of it. Like, it's not that expensive. It just depends where you go. Obviously, if you go to Santon or other high quality places, you'll get it at a very expensive price.
Okay. And if you speak of a great meal, say you're hosting people over dinner, there's this popular, sentiment called 7 colors. Are you for or against it?
I only do 7 colors when I'm with my whole family. Like,
okay.
That is literally the whole family.
Okay.
But on other days, 7 colors is just a normal thing to me. Like, if I'm looking at my plates, if I don't have like 5 colors, I'm very shocked.
And any cooking advice perhaps for people who are still finding their feet in the kitchen?
I just always believe that don't do it for the money. Do it because you love it, because the money, trust me, it will get there. But have a supportive family, have people who support you, have friends who will lead you the right way. And yes, I think just do it because you love it.
Sure thing. And food cooked with love definitely goes a long way. So where can people find you on social media?
So I'm only on Instagram, which is chef_Samk_news.
Okay. Chef Sam,
Thank you
great
very
chatting
much.
to you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Enjoy your day.
You too, man. Thank you. We just spoke to Chef Ndaba on his career and dishes that can be easily tried at home. Next week, we profile another chef on his or her cooking experience. So make sure that you stay tuned to Morning Live.